This is Dan House here, very nice or evil. You are watching Tru Heel Heat. Probably should have had MJF do this, but here we are.
Hello. It is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. We are here for Tru Heel Heat's top 10 best major shows of 2021, the best pay-per-views of the calendar year. I am back once again with the beautiful, the lovely, the princess of all the Tru Heels, the princess of Christmas, Miss Krssi Love.
Oh, Princess of Christmas. Wow.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks, guys. That's
Know
a
how to
good one.
introduce.
I don't even know what to say.
And we are joined by the welcoming, returning face of the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, the candle maker himself,
All right,
Top
the
Guy
holiday
JJ.
season candle man.
It's finally, god damn it. How long it's been?
Too long.
been-
Too
How
long.
shit, man. Now we get to do some award shows and talk about actually some good wrestling. You know, this is actually good, man. There's been a lot of dirt shit this year, and we get to talk about the good stuff.
I'm about to say you should be happy that you don't have to cover the bad stuff like SP.
Oh no, I'm
and
glad.
I had.
Yeah. No, I'm glad. This will be like a 2-hour show because of all the ranting that would happen.
No.
They leave me with all the bad shit to cover, ladies and gentlemen. That's how this shit goes down, apparently. Is what he's trying to say. But we do this list for all of you, all the supporters of the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel. What a year 2021 has been. So remember to help us out during this holiday season as we wish you a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, a Happy Kwanzaa, a Happy Hanukkah, and all of that in
All of
between.
that.
Drop a thumbs up on the video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, and enjoy the best major shows of 2021. How did you think about this year of two halves, Miss Krssi Love? We had half the year with major shows without full capacity crowds, and then the second half with the fans returning, really bringing up the energy quite a bit.
We had to figure it out and go through the year without any fans and figure out like how can we show people that wrestling is still good without the fans, without, getting the reactions. And we got certain things like we got the Thunderdome and other things like that. But they made it work. Kudos to them, because they could have just stopped, but they didn't. And like other companies and brands and things like that, they put a pause on everything, but they know they want to just keep on going. And I thought that was really honorable for them to just like we still have jobs and we still want to perform and we still want to do these things for everyone, even in the height of a panorama. So we can still do this. And I thought it was good. And then once we got to the crowds, it was like it was nothing ever changed. It was, my God, it was wonderful. And I even got to go to a show during these crazy times, which was fun. So I think we've had a great beginning and ended off the half of the year. I hope we can continue on this road and stay this way, because COVID had cousins and they came out, which is Delta, and now we got Omicron, Omarion, or whatever.
Oh man, icebox where their heart used to be. Damn,
the evil stepsisters are coming now, and we don't know what to do. So I'm hoping that the stepsisters just stay, back in, go back inside and don't come out, because we were getting used to being outside. I don't know if I want to go back inside yet. I mean, but I might have to, because I need to stay safe. So
yes, you.
But
do.
we had a great year so far. I think for what we've had, we've got some good shows, and pre fans and after fans.
Yes, it was an interesting year to say the least, with that two halves of the year. What kind of what was the biggest stark difference between this year and last year as far as like the major shows for you, Top Guy JJ?
The element of the people definitely gave us something that we need. We need to feed off of something, like to feed off of. It's kind of like you're feeding off yourself when it was no crowd. You just had to really appreciate the work which is something that I think that we did a pretty good job of doing because we still supported it, we still watched it, we still covered it constantly. But the element of people is really what makes all of these things bigger. Like just the people, the crowds, the roar, and it brings the energy back to the talent. Like the talent now feels like they have to now perform in front of the crowd, which gives you incentive to really show out, because with no crowd, it's like you're kind of just going to work. And it's different than that actually performing in front of the people that adores you and that pays money to see you. Now you have to really perform your best.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta bring that same energy every single night in front of the fans for sure. So we got a different type of vibe to a lot of these major shows, which we will discuss. But we want to hear from all of you in the live chat if you're watching the premiere, in the comments down below if you're watching on demand. Give us your favorite shows, your best major shows of 2021 in the comments, in the live chat. Remember to drop the thumbs up on the video and share it with your friends as well, as we get into the top 10 best major shows of 2021 voted on by the Tru Heel Heat contributors. Coming in at number 10, Miss Krssi Love and Top Guy JJ, is NWA Empower. It was the
nice.
NWA's Invent All Women's pay-per-view, produced by Mickie James with the help of Medusa, Gail Kim, among others, Jazz as well helping out. This was a show full of great moments and good professional wrestling. You had the great moment with Awesome Kong making the save for Gail Kim and officially retiring from professional wrestling. Camille defeating Layla Hirsch in a show stealer of a match that really showed the star potential of Layla Hirsch as well as Camille. Deanna Purrazzo with a great victory over Melina. The cup to decide the number one contender for the NWA Women's World Championship, won by Chelsea Green in the main event. So a night full of big moments. NWA Empower, showing what women's wrestling is really all about. Miss Krssi Love, as the woman of Tru Heel Heat, what was your thoughts on this show and it making our list here?
Well deserved. I guess I think the whole Empower pay-per-view was kind of like say, you know what? I want to do an all women's pay-per-view, but I want to do it the right way. I mean, we've seen women's pay-per-views before, but we want to do it but it's for women, ran by women, if that makes sense. And they wanted to get it right and they wanted to do it the right way.
Yeah.
So that's what I think it deserves to be on this list for the year. And it came at the end of towards the end of the year, but well deserving. I'm happy it made the list.
Absolutely, a huge achievement. I talked to Mickie James on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel, Tru Heel's BTR. You could check out her
Little
thoughts
plug.
on Empower coming out. As we wind down 2021, looking back on that great show. Do you think that this is something that NWA should continue on and have a second version of in 2022? Top Guy JJ.
I think it's something that should be yearly. I think it's something that should definitely be done yearly. It's something that would also encourage other companies to just use their platform to promote.
Yes.
It's like all of these companies have large women's rosters. Mm-hmm. So the amount of women that's in professional wrestling right now is astonishing, and it is a beautiful thing to see. So if each company can learn to just incorporate one special, because like what the fuck is this day one shit? Like you know what I mean? Like they could take time and actually incorporate a women's show without utilizing the garbage of just making up something on the whim. Like, why can't you just incorporate a special month for women? Like just every September, like why we can't just do
we do Women's History Month, like,
you know what I mean? Like just do it every year. But like the garbage that we be seeing that these companies be putting out is like, okay, y'all could have literally swapped that and put eyeballs on some of your most talented people.
Yeah. Very true. Very great points from the both of y'all. So you're definitely well deserving NWA Empower. We hope we see more of that to come in 2022 and the years to come. But coming in at number 9 is a promotion that helped out NWA with NWA Empower, as Impact Wrestling makes our list here at number 9 with Slammiversary from this past July, that was headlined, main evented by Kenny Omega defending the Impact World Championship against Sami Callihan in a no disqualification match. Kenny Omega getting the victory, and then after the match, it was none other than New Japan Pro Wrestling's own Switchblade Jay White who confronted the former members of the Bullet Club, Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers, as well as Don Callis, ending the night on a cliffhanger of sorts, a cliffhanger that really wasn't followed up on, but it was
come on, man.
It was a great night for Impact Wrestling. The show started off with the Ultimate X match with Josh Alexander defeating 5 other competitors to defend the X Division Championship. Thunder Rosa made her Impact Wrestling debut versus Deonna Purrazzo in a great matchup for the Knockouts Championship. After the match, Mickie James made her return to Impact Wrestling, confronting Deonna Purrazzo and kickstarting one of the feuds of the year for Impact Wrestling. So Slammiversary was a night that had a lot of noteworthy moments for sure. Top Guy JJ, what was your thoughts on Slammiversary making our list here?
Great. It's great that they made the list, because obviously I'm surprised that we're not so beautiful to see that 2 non-expected pay-per-views makes this list, which is pretty damn awesome. To me, the goddamn Blue Ball pay-per-view of the fucking year. That's a Blue Ball pay-per-view of the goddamn year, because how do you end the show with Switchblade and we get nothing after it? Like, how do y'all do that to us? Like, he showed up on Impact like 2 other weeks, and it went nowhere after that. Like how the money that could have been made off Switchblade and Kenny Omega, my God. Like, so
that was
mind-boggling that they didn't capitalize on that. Like, mind-boggling. But it was still a damn good show. It was still a very good show. You got a banger between Purrazzo and Thunder Rosa. You got, Kenny makes it work. Like, he had a damn good match with Sami Callihan. He makes it work. You finally started to see the machine, Josh Alexander. You started to see him come into his own. So you kind of start to see how everything comes into fold later on in their year. They capitalized on a lot of their stuff after this pay-per-view, which I give them credit for. But goddamn, you left me out with Switchblade. You fucking dangled them. You dangled that on me and then just left me hanging.
Left you with the blue balls of the year, as you just said. Miss Krssi Love, do you think that Impact Wrestling can capture some type of buzz in 2022 without the presence of AEW or other promotions? Like, because it feels like 2021 will be a year that defined by other promotions bringing the type of eyes on Impact Wrestling that it's always been looking for.
I would hope that once this door has been opened, people will stay watching, if that makes sense. Like we call it it was called the forbidden door of opening for other wrestlers to go through and like be on other promotions, which hasn't been seen, but it makes sense, and it made it work, if that makes sense, during these crazy times. I think the pandemic has brought that out of other wrestling companies, like say, hey, what can we do together? You come on my show, I'll give you my belt. We'll do this. We promote each other. We do these things. Let's work together. You don't really see other companies really working together. So I do hope that having the light shine on Impact, because it's one of the smaller companies, have more people watch it. And, even if other people are not, even other wrestlers or companies not coming, people will still stay tuned because they do have a good roster of people that are there. So I hope people will stay, and you can watch our show. We do they have Blunt Impact, things like that. You can watch to see, even if you don't watch the show, you can watch them tell you about the show.
Exactly. People hopefully will get more interested in Impact Wrestling based on the guys that they have, which they do have a very talented roster, and that's for sure. So hopefully the new year we'll see some more eyes on Impact Wrestling and Blunt Impact.
I do think that 2022 also, this is a hell of an opportunity for Moose to really get more eyeballs on that product.
Yeah,
absolutely. And check out my interview with ROH's own Shane Taylor, who talks about Moose being Impact World Champion a lot. So check that out for sure on the channel as well. But coming in at number 8 is a pay-per-view from WWE, which I feel is my first problem with this list. This should be definitely higher because I feel like a lot of the contributors on our channel forgot about this damn pay-per-view. But WWE Money in the Bank 2021, the return of fans to WWE for the first time on pay-per-view since WrestleMania, and first time to, full time once again. And what a show this was. Of course, the major noteworthy moment was the ending of the night when John Cena returned to an unreal pop and confronted the WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns after his excellent main event matchup against Edge. You also had the fantastic match of the year for WWE candidate Money in the Bank ladder match with an all-star lineup, which Big E won to win the Money in the Bank briefcase. Nikki ASH won the women's Money in the Bank matchup. You had Bobby Lashley, a dominant performance against Kofi Kingston. Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair with a show stealer for the Raw Women's Championship. This show had it all. How did the Chris G's and the Nesses and the Romeos of the world include any WWE show before this one? This was the best damn WWE show of the year, in my opinion. Top Guy JJ, why are you shaming people?
Shame. It feels like people just forgot. Like, it feels like
why? Because we had Fastlane and all the other crap shows, afterwards, so we could forget that one.
That was after.
We've had a year of a lot of shows, guys. Come on.
Fastlane was 6 months prior to that.
Exactly. Like, what do you?
Can you remember everything you did 6 months ago?
No. I remember this pay-per-view.
I remember this show. I remember the show because people were genuinely excited about the WWE. This was one of the rare times this year where people were actually positive about the WWE. So I will always remember WWE Money in the Bank 2021.
You got two good Money in the Bank matches. You got a great match with Roman Reigns versus Edge. You got the ending that you'll never forget. You get Bobby Lashley absolutely destroying Kofi Kingston. Like, shame.
Is Bobby Lashley listed as one of the top guys for the year? Because he had a crazy year.
We shall find out. You guys gotta watch the Tru Heel Heat.
I think I need to fix my list now.
Male wrestlers of the year.
I think people just genuinely forgot about this show. I think people just forgot.
I'm telling you, SP, genuinely, people forgot that this happened. One, it was 6 months ago. Okay, that's number one. Number two, you know what? I can never. Okay,
she's defending herself because it's probably not even like the top 10.
It wasn't. I know. I
know it wasn't. I can tell you what was on my list. I remember. However, I'm just telling you, you're pointing out the people that contributed to this list.
Yes.
In their defense, one, there were some other shows that were better, and two, we forgot that this even happened.
Clearly, according to the list, there's 7 other shows that's better than this.
I don't know. I would just
whatever. Number 8. Let's go.
I would. That is number 8. Money in the Bank. Thank you for reaffirming that.
It would have bumped that up on the list if you would have had it in the list.
Exactly. The fact that there are two other WWE shows on the list is preposterous to me.
Wait, what?
Preposterous. It's preposterous, ladies and gentlemen. Coming in 2 other WWE shows. And,
Oh my!
and,
Don't tell me that you're about to name it. You're about to name it. Oh my god!
Those two others are ranked higher than this goddamn show. Coming in at number 7 is New Japan Pro Wrestling's Wrestle Kingdom Night 2, which was main evented by Kota Ibushi defending the IWGP
My boo.
Heavyweight and IWGP Intercontinental Championships against Switchblade Jay White, which would go on to become the longest match in Tokyo Dome history. 48 minutes of superb professional wrestling, with Kota Ibushi landing the Kamigoye, finally defeating Jay White after Jay White had won 3 straight against Kota Ibushi. This night also had a 5-star classic for the never openweight championship. Shingo Takagi going one-on-one with Jeff Cobb. If you want the definition of a heavyweight slugfest at high speed, that's winner versus Takagi. Excellent professional wrestling. Hiromu Takahashi versus Taiji Ishimori was another great matchup on this night. This night just had nothing but bangers. But coming in at number 7, what did you think about Wrestle Kingdom Night 2?
I'm surprised this is at 7.
This was number 6 for me. I just sometimes I don't get it.
I'm surprised this is at number 7. To be honest. A lot of you guys really.
I was torn. I was really torn. So I'm gonna confess. I was torn between at my top 5 between Money in the Bank and Wrestle Kingdom. I think just the reaction that I had for Money in the Bank kind of elevated my my ranking for it, because I was actually hyped watching this show. New Japan is damned if they do, damned if they don't. Because it's damned if they put on the best show of their year, but it's damned that nobody pays attention to this shit.
Or nobody remembers it because it was the beginning of the year.
See, this is
we're about to have Wrestle Kingdom again,
this
right?
is forgotten about, because this is on the 3rd and 4th day of the year, so this was forgotten about clearly. But
is this the same time? Wait, hold on.
Best post show interview of the year.
Yes, by Switchblade. Yes,
best post show interview ever, blaming the entire industry. Guys, come on, yo! You guys are killing me right now. All right,
how dare they forget about this?
and then Shingo and fucking and then Cobb. Wow.
Yes,
guys, you guys are fucking killing me right now.
Hey, the contributors, we watch a lot of wrestling, to be fair, so I can't
track of things.
Can't go too hard on them. But damn, man, this one should have been much higher in my opinion.
I agree. I definitely agree on that one.
It
wasn't on my list, but yes, I agree.
Oh my god, why wasn't it on your list?
See,
shame.
Because
shame. Wait. Time out. I know we about to go off the rails real quick. There was 10 shows that was better than Money in the Bank and Wrestle Kingdom.
Apparently, 10? Apparently, no. There's 6 more shows that are better than both of those.
I'm talking about. I'm according to my boo here. As much as I love her, goddamn, come on.
Well, technically, he asked for my top 5, and
I did. To be fair, I did.
To be fair.
Now, if we had 10, I would have had them on my list, but I didn't.
To be fair.
So be fair. So there you have your answer.
This is funny.
There you have it.
Just fun. This is like old times, guys.
Coming in at number 6 is another show from WWE, and yes, at number 6, nearly in the top 5, is a show from Saudi fucking Arabia, but it was a good show. And it was WWE Money in the Bank, WWE Crown Jewel 2021, aka Sweet Saudi Money 6.
They finally did a good Crown Jewel. What can you expect? I'm sorry, guys.
This was
we didn't expect it, but we liked it.
This was main evented by Roman Reigns defeating Brock Lesnar to retain the WWE Universal Championship. But this had two barn burner of matches, match of the year candidates for WWE, as it was opened by Edge defeating Seth Rollins in an absolutely brutally intense Hell in a Cell match to culminate their feud. You also had Becky Lynch defeating Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks in a triple threat match, in a great match, probably the first great women's match that's happened in Saudi Arabia. You also had quality matchups with Big E versus Drew McIntyre, Xavier Woods becoming King of the Ring by defeating Finn Balor. So this show had definitely a lot of positives and probably the most good things talked about out of a WWE Saudi Arabia show of all time. Miss Krssi Love, what did you think about Crown Jewel?
Crown Jewel was great. Again, we always expect Crown Jewel to be trash, like all the other 5 other shows that happened before it. So going into this one, we were like, oh wait, the first match was good. Okay, let's see what the second it just kept getting better, and we're just like pinching ourselves, like, is this really happening? That this show is actually really good? Now, in everyone's defense, it probably wasn't better than Money in the Bank. Now that you're gone back and said it, but
Wrestle Kingdom as well. But yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom as well.
Yeah, Wrestle Kingdom definitely.
Okay, Wrestle Kingdom is better than both shows, but however, let's give them credit for where credit is due. And for this year that we've had, this particular show that no one really cares about at all was actually very good. And they gave us at least 3 good matches that we can say off the top. Huh?
I think the most underrated match on this show, people don't talk about at all, is Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. Like, they tore it up.
They had to. There was they were in front of their home. That was a great match, and then they brought it back home and did it again. So I
in 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, no.
Just saying. I'm just saying that rematch. They didn't do good.
And I haven't seen them ever since. Put it like that. I haven't seen them ever since. Anywho,
gotta love it.
No, we're not talking about that. However, when we're talking about Crown Jewels, okay. So, great show. Could not be mad at it. Again, we were sitting there. No one's really paying attention to it because it's during the day. People are at work and it's on in the background. If that makes sense. I'm watching it at work. I'm watching it in the background. But then I'm watching it and I'm like, wait, this is actually really good. So, kudos to them for finally giving us a Saudi Arabia show to care about. Because the other ones we didn't really care about at all because they were all trash.
Pretty much. Do you think that this is the exception to the rule, or what's to come from Saudi Arabia shows in the future, Top Gun?
I mean, I don't have high hopes.
I don't know if they're like, this is a very high bar for their show because it was that good. Right. This is the only show, I will confess, this is the only show that I did not see live, but I saw it twice. Like,
you watched it twice?
Yes, I did, because I was shocked on how good this show was. I was genuinely shocked on how good this show was. I had to actually just make sure it was real, that this was a really good show.
I've never went back and said, let me watch a Saudi Arabia show ever again.
No. And that's why I had to watch it twice, because I didn't believe that it was actually a good show.
I want to spit,
so
like that. Like
so I want to spit.
According to the people, this show is getting a lot of credit. The show is getting a lot of credit. I mean, it's number 6 on the fucking list. Is getting a lot of credit.
But you watched it that one time. You watched it twice on the cock. You know what I'm saying? You watched it twice.
You went to the cock twice for it.
There's a lot of pay-per-views that I've watched twice, and we'll get into the other ones that I've watched twice.
No, see, you're not understanding what we're saying. We're saying that you went
Saudi Arabia show.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. Twice. I totally understand it. I had to watch it again to understand that this was actually a real thing, that I'm going to actually go into and actually saying high praises about this shit, because I didn't believe it was real.
Okay, so you thought Ashton Kutcher kind of...
I thought I was going to be in the minority, right? I thought, when you're watching this show, when you're watching a show like this, you're thinking that, I'm about to be in a minority because I don't think that other people's going to think the show is really great. But everybody did. Everybody did.
Okay.
Everybody
ahead,
helped you
Phil.
out on that one.
Yeah, it was easy.
Coming in as we enter the top 5, we have the first show here that we're mentioning from All Elite Wrestling, AEW, as they returned live fans in full capacity to Daly's Place at AEW Double or Nothing 2021 on May 30th. This show just had a different type of energy with AEW fans in full coming back for the first time. You had the great
Wait,
buy-in
Orange
match.
Cassidy lay down over there on the side. I didn't even notice
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely.
You
and
got
Ray
motherfucking
Phoenix
Ray
looking
Phoenix
like
up there
Spider-Man.
looking like yo,
Right.
you took the words out of my mouth.
So yes, you had a great show, great energy going into the night. You had the great buy-in match with Riho going one-on-one with Serena Deeb. On the main show, you had a fantastic opener with Brian Cage falling to Hangman Page on his way to his ultimate goal of the AEW World Championship. Speaking of the AEW World Championship, you had this tremendous triple threat match for the AEW World Championship as Kenny Omega defeated Pac and Orange Cassidy in a match that no one thought Orange Cassidy would win going into the match, but you could please believe everyone in Jacksonville was biting their nails when he hit the orange punch. And then that probably wasn't even the best match of the night, as many say the moment of the night, the best match of the night was the Young Bucks defeating Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston in an awesome tag team matchup. Young Bucks in their heel best, Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston making the perfect babyface foils. This was also the night that Dr. Britt Baker DMD won the AEW Women's World Championship. You had Cody dressed as Homelander for the first time. So a lot of Sting returning, having an actual match and it being very, very good.
I forgot about that.
And Stadium Stampede as the Inner Circle defeated the Pinnacle in the second Stadium Stampede match. What did you think about Double or Nothing 2021? Top Guy JJ.
Deserving of where it's at. I mean, this show, I think you said it earlier in your earlier sentiments, this show had a different energy to it. Like, I don't think that there was a bad moment to this show. I think the only bad moment about this show was Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. I think that was like the worst thing of the entire show.
Words out of my mouth.
Yeah. So other than that, the show. So basically, when you give a show a rating out of 10, the show was on its way to probably a 9.5, and then that show knocks a 1.5 of the whole show because it was that bad.
Yep.
The show was, a lot of people probably don't remember that bullshit that took place, but the show subsided all of that. So the show was that good. Like, I wasn't really feeling the build to the Triple Threat Championship match, but that match over fucking delivered the build to me by far. Like, I didn't think the match was going to be as good as it was because of the build to me, but I was proved wrong, clearly. But yeah, this show was awesome. This show was great. I mean, Stadium Stampede 2 definitely was not as good as Stadium Stampede 1, but it was still a very fun match. Still pretty damn good. There's not really much bad to say about it. And of course, it was a crowning moment of Goat Baker. I mean, come on. It's a crowning moment of Goat Baker in front of a full crowd. So it just had all the pieces and ingredients to really have a show that you can remember. But this show was awesome.
Do you think many people will remember Double or Nothing for how important it was with bringing back the that energy that the AEW fans give those shows? Krssi Love?
Definitely does. I think it does. Especially for the fact that, this is May of 2021. We're now starting to let people in. They did WrestleMania with a crowd in a bigger stadium. So, the pressure was on for them to give a great show. And like Top Guy JJ said, it was on to being a perfect show until we had Homelander come down and be in the show and then, have that match. But other than that, and then, Stadium Stampede was not the expectations of what they had from the first one. As you know, it's very hard to do better than what was the first one. So that kind of makes sense of like how things happen. I think they did a very good job. The pressure was on to give, the fans were going to be there and to give us a great show, and I think they succeeded. It's in number 5 for a reason. You can remember all of the events that happened. maybe 1 or 2 matches, but out of like the 10 that they had, I feel, was it 10 or was it 11? I can't remember. But out of the matches that they had, only 2 that were like meh. Everything else was like great. And we can't, and the fans that were there to see that got, you saw something that was like once in a lifetime. Like, oh yeah, I went to the first show after during the pandemic where they had fans at. Like, not a lot of people can say that. So that's
Yeah.
actually something that's really, really cool and big to say. And they succeeded and they did very well. And that's why they are at number 5 for this particular show, because they went over and beyond and they exceeded everyone's expectation. Like Top Guy JJ said, the main event, the build-up wasn't good, but did they deliver in a great banger of a match? Absolutely. So, yes.
Speaking of fans returning, we got at number 4 another event, the final event from WWE WrestleMania 37 Night 1. This was fans returning to WWE for the first time since the pandemic, and this was a weird show to start off with Samoa Joe in a poncho standing in the rain, but it ended up being a fabulous night of professional wrestling, headlined by the historic main event for the SmackDown Women's Championship as Bianca Belair defeated Sasha Banks, becoming the first African-American woman to win the main event of WrestleMania in an absolutely marvelous display of professional wrestling with these two ladies in that matchup. But also, you had starting off the night Bobby Lashley defeating Drew McIntyre to the surprise of many in front of the live fans in attendance. Tamina got cheered like she was one of the top baby faces in the world. But what they did witness is the debut of the real top baby face of the world, Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny teaming up with Damian Priest to have one of the best celebrity matches in WrestleMania history as they defeated The Miz and John Morrison. And it was just a great night. Another time during the year where fans coming out of an event were very positive about the WWE. That night was WrestleMania 37 Night 1. Top Guy JJ, what was your thoughts coming out of one of the biggest shows of the year?
When you're pleasantly surprised at a show that you already kind of have some expectations for, and then you have that performance by who was that, Krssi? Who was that one more time? Who was that, Faye?
Bad Bunny.
When you get a performance like that, when you get to me the best celebrity performance ever, like that literally, and I'm like, to see the display of moves and the display of work that he put into this match, and that showed out the way it did. And then you get the card that succeeds. You get the surprise. Like I wanted Bobby Lashley to win the entire time. I picked Bobby Lashley, and I was greatly surprised that he actually won. And then of course, I mean, I'll never, like, the image of Bianca Belair pressing Sasha Banks and walking up the stairs and then tossing her back, like this shit that you just, the memories and the moments that WrestleMania gives you, that year actually gave you some shit to remember. And stellar show. It was a great show. Had like it felt like a 2-hour delay, but in all actuality, it was probably like 40 minutes. But still, it showed out, man. It was a damn good show, man. And we always listen. And on this show, on this channel, when WWE does well, we are very quick to give them praise. We will give them their flowers when they do well. That night, they got flowers.
Yes, they did.
Yes, Krssi Love, how proud were you of the main event of WrestleMania 37 Night 1?
Top Guy JJ said it. We were not very happy going into WrestleMania. Like, we were all saying, like, how are you building up the top show of your brand and it's feeling lackluster, especially being in front of fans? We were not excited. Like, we're supposed to be excited for WrestleMania. It's like our Super Bowl. And we were not, all three of us were not excited for this show, especially the first night. We found out it was going to be 2 nights. No problem. Second time they're doing this. This is in front of fans. We were not excited to see the show. We were not. However, the first night exceeded our expectations. Um, Night one was delayed because of rain. One of the first and last times we saw Samoa Joe on the commentating table, and then he went somewhere else. But that's another
He got
story.
fired.
That
He got released. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So, with that being said, I think they over exceeded, the naysayers. We were them because the buildup was not there. And we all wanted Bobby Lashley to win. And we were all surprised that Bobby Lashley did win because we were not expecting him to win because we were like, they're gonna give it to Bianca. We can't have everybody win. Like it's not like, ooh, like no, we didn't see it. We didn't see the booking that way. But they gave us all the bookings of every match that we thought should win, did win. I think it was the fans' night that night. And the fans won that night, if that makes sense. The fans won more than the actual wrestlers. And, shout out to them for, giving us a great show because we really were expecting trash. But we got, greatness. Well, not greatness, but a good show.
Coming in at number 3 is New Japan Pro Wrestling Wrestle Kingdom 15 Night 1. Coming in at number 3, that was headlined by Tetsuya Naito defending the IWGP Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships against Kota Ibushi, and Kota Ibushi overcoming Tetsuya Naito to become a god and win in the main event of the Tokyo Dome and go on to headline Night 2 against Switchblade Jay White. But probably the best back-to-back matches of the year, because not only did you get that main event, but before that main event, arguably the best in-ring match of the year, as Will Ospreay went one-on-one with Kazuchika Okada, and these guys tore it up for almost 35 minutes in just a fast-paced, high exhilarating contest where Okada brought back out the Rainmaker to defeat Will Ospreay. So this night will always be remembered by that double main event, 2 5-star classics back to back. So Wrestle Kingdom 15 edges out Night 1. Why do you think Night 1 went over Night 2 in our rankings here, Top Guy JJ?
So shame on me for not putting this higher. So I would say that because and the reason why it's shame on me for that, because those are the only 2 matches that I truly remembered. Like according to just if you read the card off to me, I would probably just like, oh shit, yes, I remember this match happened. But that double main event is pretty much all I remembered. So I was like, can I give this that high?
Sometimes that's all you need. If it's 2 5-star classics on one back to back, I
did lead off my sentiments by saying shame on me. I didn't put this higher. So yes, I led off with that. So I mean, that was my personal favorite match of the entire Wrestle Kingdom weekend. Was that particular match between Okada and Ospreay. Like that, I was a fanboy to that match for the entire 30-something minutes that they battled it out for. I liked it more than both title matches. To me, like probably others felt differently, but I like that match better than everything that entire weekend. But it was a phenomenal ending. I probably need to make sure I go and check that beginning because I need to enshrine this in my head that this show was that good, because I know this show was that good. Just those 2 matches, those 2 matches stands out to me more than anything.
You had a nice high-flying opener with Hiromu Takahashi and El Phantasmo. That's how Hiromu advanced to versus Ishimori on Night 2.
Yes.
You also had the GOD defeating Dangerous Tekkers to win the IWGP Tag Team Championships in a very good matchup. So this card definitely had some other good matchups on the show.
That opener. Yep. You see, even more shame on me for that, because that opener was that opener was fucking awesome, yo. Yeah, I know when I can admit shit, and I'm gonna admit something else later on too.
Here we go, and let's get into the nitty gritty. Why don't we, Krssi, Top Guy JJ? The top 2. This one it will be debated on probably until the end of time. And yes, they come from one promotion. Coming in at number 2, just edging out just being edged out by the number one entrant is AEW Full Gear 2021 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I was there live in Tarjay Center to witness the main event of Hangman Page finally overcoming Kenny Omega to become the AEW World Champion. 5.5-star rated by the Wrestling Observer newsletters of Dave Meltzer. The celebration was the culmination of a 3-year journey for Hangman Page. But this night is probably one of the greatest top to bottom professional wrestling cards of all time, because it was kicked off by an incredible matchup, a technical wrestling, character work, savant masterpiece by MJF and Darby Allin, with MJF cashing in on his guarantee going into the match, beating Darby Allin with a headlock takeover. You had the bloody, brutal intensity of CM Punk going one-on-one with Eddie Kingston, the fantastic moment with CM Punk mocking his former rival John Cena. You also had another 5-star rated matchup in the 6-man Falls Count Anywhere matchup of the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, the Super Click, losing to Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage. And you also had Bryan Danielson versus Miro, Lucha Bros versus FTR. Like, top to bottom, this is one of the greatest professional wrestling cards ever assembled. And it any other year, this would be number one by a country mile. Miss Krssi Love, what's your thoughts on Full Gear being in this place on the list?
I'm not mad at it at all. I voted for this particular one on my list. It was in my top 5. From beginning to end, long. I felt like a WrestleMania show. Felt very long, but so good. And you had so many bangers. Like, you couldn't be mad at this pay-per-view. Like, it was long, but it was so good, and you just was like entertained from beginning to end. There was nothing bad about the entire show. And I was like, and it was you felt the energy, and you wasn't even in like, I wasn't even there, but I felt it from being into my house, if that makes sense. Like, you can feel it. And SP was there, but we all experienced something that was like, in that lead up to the pay-per-view was just like amazing. Like, you knew like this was going to be one of their banger shows. Like, this, they put whoever was sitting at the table that put this thing together, kudos to them, because they did impeccable of a job. Like, you did this one magnifique. So good.
Top guy JJ, what would you say? This is the hardest question to ask about Full Gear. What was the best match on the show to you?
I hate you for that question, man. First, I'm going to start off with an apology.
I would just say this. Little spoiler alert. You could go to WrestleTalk.com right now. I did the top 10 best AEW matches of 2021. Mm-hmm. 3 of the matches came from Full Gear, and it doesn't include the 5-star Falls Count Anywhere match of the Super Click versus Christian Cage and Jurassic
Crazy, man. So,
and it's only because you were there. Like, what happened?
No, it's not because I was there. It's just because these are just unquestionable great matches that were on this show.
Got it. Okay.
So
carry on.
I'm going to go back to my apology, because one, I caught this show rather on the late side. And then second, I try to wake up and try to catch this show, and I completely disrespected the MJF and Darby Allin opener. Completely disrespected it. And that match, to me, literally deserved an additional star on the top of the rating that I gave it. This match, I think I gave it 3 3/4, and I was like, I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
And we all went in on you. We all.
And I did admittedly say I saw it tired, and I was like, I'm gonna go rewatch it. That match, goddamn, that's probably the best match of MJF's entire career. Like that match, that match,
sure.
Like fight me on that. Like, and that's the best match of MJF's career. Like, I put that one in Jungle Boy. To me, the match with Jungle Boy, like, it's like 1A, 1B to me. But like, my God, like, best match. Back to your question. The question of the match, to me, I personally enjoyed FTR and the Lucha Bros the most. Like, I'm not saying it was the best, but I enjoyed that match the most.
Yeah.
Like that's the match that I was like, wow. Like, and I had high expectations for this match, and it blew them shits away by a fucking country mile, as you would say earlier. Because I was like, I was expecting 5-star plus out of Hangman and Omega, which is unfair to them because you're already expecting a perfect match, which basically is what they did.
Yeah.
But I was just more blown away with the performance of FTR and the Lucha Bros. My God, like this show top to bottom. If you're going to sit there and you're going to look at this card and say that freaking Daniel Bryan and Miro had one of the worst matches on the card, that's telling. That's telling. And it's like, if I'm watching this show, I could name like 6 matches that was better than this. And that's crazy.
This is a match that Uncle Dave Meltzer gave 8 of 10 matches 4 stars or more.
It's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, the only thing that I thought, well, like, I feel like obviously the worst match on the card was a match that had Cody involved. But and it was actually not a bad match. It wasn't a bad match even. But
no, that was actually a pretty good match.
I would say, yeah.
I went in there with so much Cody salt, I was just like not even fucking with this match from the start. So
understandable.
This match was this pay-per-view, as you said, this is the pay-per-view of the year. This is the pay-per-view of the year without what's gonna come, because what we saw coming up at number 1 we'll probably never see again.
Absolutely. A couple of honorable mentions before we get to number 1, NXT Takeover 36, which could be considered the final takeover of the NXT Black and Gold era that had Walter versus Ilya Dragunov, had the final showdown between O'Reilly and Cole, as well as Samoa Joe winning the NXT Championship over Karrion Kross. NXT Takeover Stand and Deliver with Io Shirai losing the NXT Women's Championship to Raquel Gonzalez, as well as the Sublime match between Walter and Tommaso Ciampa, with Ciampa losing to a chop in that matchup. And it seems like the honorable mentions this NXT shows, because another honorable mention coming from NXT Takeover Vengeance Day, which was headlined by Finn Balor defeating Pete Dunne. Also had a great matchup between Kushida and Johnny Gargano on that show as well. And that was the night that the Undisputed Era broke up officially. So a night that was very noteworthy for sure, and most years would be included in the top 10, I would say. It was NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. But without any further ado, coming in at number 1, you guessed it, is once again from All Elite Wrestling, AEW All Out 2021 from Chicago, Illinois, Sunday night, September 5th, 2021. This historic event had plenty of hype and buzz going into the show, because it was the night that CM Punk had his first professional wrestling matchup in 7 years after his return to professional wrestling, and probably the best wrestling moment of 2021. You guys voted on that on the Tru Heel Heat year-end awards, but CM Punk defeated Darby Allin with the go to sleep in a very good matchup. This night had plenty of great wrestling. You had Miro defeating Eddie Kingston in a TNT championship matchup, heavyweight slugfest opener. You had Jon Moxley defeating Kojima in a hard-hitting, strong style type of matchup. After the match, the AEW debut of Minoru Suzuki. Chicago got to sing Kazunari, and what a moment it was. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, a great matchup against Chris Statlander for the Women's Championship. This night will be remembered when it comes to in-ring action for the steel cage match, tag team title match, voted on by all of you on the Tru Heel Heat year-end awards as the 2021 match of the year, as the Lucha Bros defeated the Young Bucks in an epic, a tremendous, just an out of this world, state of the art steel cage matchup that had all the elements of the high spot tag team wrestling that we've grown accustomed with the Young Bucks, as well as the Lucha Libre bitter end of a few type steel cage matches that have been accustomed for them. But All of that great wrestling paled in comparison to the ending, which saw Kenny Omega defeat Christian Cage to retain the AEW World Championship. And then after the lights went out and we saw the debut of Adam Cole Baby as he reunited with the members of the Elite. But just when you thought the night was over, Bryan Danielson debuted. Back-to-back, Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson debuted to end All Out 2021. And what a moment it was. This show is just unreal for the amount of great professional wrestling, big surprises, big moments that will be remembered for years to come. Top Guy JJ, All Out 2021. Any question, the show of the year.
This match, first of all, this show tried to give people a heart attack. Okay? This show tried to give people a heart attack, all right? Your blood pressure is not supposed to go that high for a wrestling show, okay? First of all, when you get the type of match that the Young Bucks and the Lucha Bros had, like, that might be my favorite tag team match of all time. It was Kenny and Hangman versus the Young Bucks prior to that, but to me, this was special. Like this like special, putting it in other words, I don't even know if it's giving it justice. This show, top to bottom, to me was, with the exception, we know the stinkers, we know Paul White and motherfucking QT Marshall had a match on this show. we know they.
If you blinked, you missed it.
Like to call out the main event of the show that we was all fucking talking shit about. But it was wow. Like, and I mean by heart attack is when you get a great main event, you get a great show, and then the lights go out, and then you hear Adam Cole, you hear that, it's all about that, and then the fucking crowd goes nuts. And then the fucking the chick goes crazy again with the Valkyrie fucking theme, and it's like, oh my, like, you're not supposed to experience this much heart pumping for a show. Like, fight us if y'all think that something else is better than this in 2021, because this here, boy, like I said, I don't think this is something that we are ever going to see again, with back-to-back massive debuts after a superb show.
Miss Krssi Love, what did you think about All Out 2021 and that ending? Do you think that ending, I said it on our roundtable review following the show, the greatest ending to a pro wrestling pay-per-view of all time? What do you think?
I can definitely agree with you on that one for sure, because if you didn't know that band music he had was on NXT, and he comes back and he has better music when he debuts, it's like, come on, like. And I watched that when I was on vacation in Mexico, so that's saying a lot. When I'm not even home and I'm watching these things on my phone, and I'm like, I'm mad I'm not like with my friends watching this like banger of a pay-per-view. Like, this was amazing, like, to be around with friends, like watching this in our homes together, like marking out, this was that pay-per-view. This is number one for a reason. Like, you marked out, yeah, we had one or two matches. We don't need to even speak their names. The rest of the card, amazing. For sure. The ending, the best ending. Like, I agree with you on SP. I second that. Top, best ending of a pay-per-view. Like, you had two people. We knew they were gone. We wasn't for sure that they were going to come and when they were going to come, but when they came, and they came through that, the people that were in Chicago that night, blessings, because you witnessed something that was greatness. You probably will never see it again. Maybe you will, but that particular night was greatness at its finest. And just when you thought you got one, but then you got two, like, how did they put two in one night? Like, no, we're not going to just give them one. We're going to give them two. Like, you don't even need to give us two. You didn't even have to give us two. Like, we were good with one, but you gave us two people. Amazing. Absolutely best ending. I agree with you totally, 100%. It is number one for a reason.
Yeah, and the funny thing is that people were actually trying to argue with SP when he made that proclamation on. It's like, y'all are not going to name something that's better than this. Like, I agree with him as soon as he said
you
it.
really can't. You really
Like,
cannot.
it was like, he ain't
we'll
reaching.
wait, and
My
we've
comment
been
was like, he
waiting.
ain't reaching. He ain't reaching because you name something. It's like people are like, oh, you're talking crazy. Like, no, name something. I dare you. Try it.
And we've still been waiting. They haven't
couldn't
been
be
able to
done.
name it.
4 months later, it couldn't be done.
Nope. Still hasn't been done. When you have multiple things that can be called the greatest on one show with the greatest ending, one of the probably the greatest steel cage match people ever seen, and then overall just one of the greatest pay-per-views that people have ever witnessed. All Out 2021 will be remembered for years to come, and both of you guys got to be cynical 2021ers. Let's not mention Paul White versus QT Marshall, but it's 20 years later and nobody mentions Test versus Eddie Guerrero at WrestleMania 17. So let's stop mentioning Paul White versus QT Marshall because it was 3 fucking minutes. We forgot it. You forgot it after it happened. Let's stop mentioning it.
You've already said it more times than I did.
Exactly. I'm just saying though. No, because
that's like
the people
mentioning
watching
Homelander.
The people watching actually voted for it to be number 2, the worst match of the year. Like, I literally didn't remember it enough to make it one of the worst matches of the year.
But when you get the return of CM Punk, which has been overshadowed by all the other shit that we've already talked about.
Yep.
The return of CM Punk was pay-per-view of the year quality as it was already because he put on a hell of a match with Darby Allin. And that is probably like the 4th or 5th thing that we're talking about on this show.
Yep.
And this.
And then that. Yep. Then that. that match alone. That.
Yeah, that match alone would make this one of the shows of the year, but everything else, yeah, this is not even a question to be in the best major show of 2021. We're gonna be having probably future videos with this being the greatest shows of all time, greatest pay-per-views of all time. Like, it's not a coincidence that I just mentioned WrestleMania 17 in the same breath as All Out 2021.
In years to come, this shit might challenge 17 for that top spot.
We shall see. We shall see. But that brings us to a close on our top 10 best major shows of 2021. I want to thank Miss Krssi Love and Top Guy JJ and all of you guys for watching. Miss Krssi Love, please let the people know where they can find you on social media during this holiday season.
Happy holidays, everyone. I hope you are being safe and enjoying each other and your family, because family is the only thing that matters. But you can find me on IG, Twitter, and on Facebook. It is at KrssiLove_1 or just Krssi Love. And you can find me every Saturday morning with my good brothers every week, which is Top Guy JJ and SP, as we do Tru Heel Heat. Every week, we bring you the news. We bring you all the noise and the funk of what's happening in the wrestling community. So please join us. Other than that, you might see me on a round table or in a live watch along. SP and I, we do Jesus Lord have mercy.
Dark Side
of the Ring. There we go. Dark Side of the Ring. It's late, guys. Sorry. We do Dark Side of the Ring. When that comes back on, we do some other shows sometimes. Please watch us on our Patreon. Please, please, please. We did a watch along for The Undertaker. So you should do that. Be a Patreon person. We give you little gems here and there. We do that after our shows. So please watch us on Patreon. We love you guys. Thank you.
Top Guy JJ, where can the people find you, good sir?
How the fuck am I supposed to follow that close? like help me understand this. I'm supposed to follow this close. I'm gonna be like, go find me at Instagram at Tru Heel _Top Guy JJ, and then you can find me on the Tru Heel YouTube channel. And
you're on round tables too.
I can't wait until I can't wait until I get back on the flagship show. Krssi just fucking stole the ending.
All of that sounds good. That was good.
But that was it's in a complimentary fashion. I just can't wait to get back on you. Can't wait to get back on the show with you guys. You guys have been absolutely crushing it. I can't wait. I just can't wait. Catch me here on doing reviews, like this reward show stuff, roundtables, watch-alongs, until my schedule normalizes from this shit show called the holiday season. So yeah, people love the holidays. I'm not a fan of it because I am in a labor situation that I cannot get out of.
Understandable. Understandable. And you can find me on the Twitter machine at Tru Heel SP3. You can find my written work on sportskita.com as well as wrestletalk.com. I did the top 10 best AEW matches of 2021 on wrestletalk.com. So go over there and check that out. And you can check out the crew on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Tru Heel Heat. There's a whole bunch of great content on the Tru Heel Heat YouTube channel during this holiday season. You got Tru Heel's BTR with myself and Mickey James, Tru Heel's BTR with myself and ROH star Shane Taylor. You got our top 10 women's wrestlers of the year, our top 10 matches of the year, and top 10 male wrestlers of the year to enjoy. So there's a bunch of great content during this holiday season. Before myself, Miss Krssi Love, and hopefully he survives the holiday season, Top Guy JJ, we return with the flagship podcast in 2022. So for Top Guy JJ, for Miss Krssi Love, let us know on demand in the comments below your top 10 best major shows of 2021. If you liked our list, what we got wrong, what you would change, let us know in the comments below. Like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to help out the channel as we enter a new year. For Top Guy JJ, for Miss Krssi Love, it is me, your Tru Heel Phenom SP3. And this has been Tru Heel Heat's top 10 best major shows of 2021. We are signing off until